Hi friends, how are you all? Hope you are doing great at various aspects of your lives. Welcome to another book review podcast by Team Thinker Views. Today we are going to talk about The Vault of Vishnu by Ashwin Sanghi. Ashwin Sanghi is one of the most appreciated authors when it comes to modern Indian literature. When it comes to thrillers set up in the modern world, having roots in Indian mythology, his works are worth reading for sure. Though I was not impressed with his earlier books much, I found he grew up very much as an author with each of his books, and some of his recent books are really a treat for fantasy fiction lovers. We were very much curious to explore his latest full length book, The Vault of Vishnu, since its release, but unable to find it available at a attractive price. Eventually, we opted out for a trial of Kindle Unlimited program by Amazon, and this book was found available as a part of Kindle Unlimited catalog, so it turned out to be a good opportunity for us to go for it. Let us take a look at the cover page of the book. It is a well-known fact that a cover page of a book, or for that matter any media, can surely influence many of the purchase and or reading decisions. Of course, the book cover is not the sole element you should consider while choosing your next read, but it creates the first impression of the book and thus it cannot be ignored at all. As you can see, the cover page of The Vault of Vishnu has a dark background. Book title, author's name, and other textual elements are contrasts of the same. The hand of the sword having text in Chinese, Mandarin to be precise, and other silver golden color designs make the cover page look rich and impressive. Let us take a bird's eye view to the book plot. Like the earlier books of the author, there are two parallel stories moving ahead in different timelines. One is dedicated to a famous Chinese traveler's fictional travelogue and thus obviously set up in ancient times, and the other is in contemporary time. It all starts with the Chinese invasion at Doklam. Yes, the book was written and released before the actual invasion by Chinese army troops in Doklam, which led to Indo-Sino clash at the point. The situation is not completely normal yet, though. The most intriguing part of the invasion is invaders. They seem far from typical Chinese troops. It seems not only their build but their physical strength is also of a superhuman level, and they were more like butchers than the soldiers. Seeing the footage of this invasion and brutality, an emergency meeting of top authorities is called up in India. Eventually, Wing Commander Paramjit Pam Khurana, daughter of a late army officer, is roped in to investigate the realities and, more importantly, the technologies that are used by the invaders. The reason was or is very simple. You can fight the enemy only after knowing his or her abilities and warfare utensils. The thread eventually takes Palm to her friend Mark, and eventually she is able to find Dr. Raja Rao, the man whose knowledge in this specific area of interest cannot be challenged. The Chinese government is also having its power centers, and they are doing their bits to explore the technology used in this butchery to even superior level. Their combing operations run in Angkor and nearby areas in Cambodia. And yes, they have their eyes on key persons involved in the investigation in India. So, what will Palm found? Who are with the nation and who are fighting against it? Why foreign intelligence agencies are also keeping a close eye on these developments? Who all are involved? Will it lead to a highly technical war between two of the largest populated countries in the world? Well, you can explore this fictional tale spread over in Doklam, Bhutan, India, China, Cambodia, Angkor Wat, Angkor, Kashmir, and other parts of the world, where you will meet Wing Commander Paramjit Pam Khurana, General Jai Thakur, Mark, Jaya Roy, VTK, Erkin, Dr. Raja Rao, and many others. Here are my personal views and reviews for the book. As you can see, the book explores the things in mythological and historical arena, and at the same time it has the main thread in the contemporary times. These threats are viewed pretty effectively with the technology of tomorrow, including AI, that is artificial intelligence, viewed with human engineering. These parts are nothing less than any science fiction. For example, Adam and Eve Chinese programs. Not only that the names are interesting, the details explored are equally amazing. The author has done remarkable research on AI, robotics, warfare technologies, human engineering, and many other areas. The way he linked the things with mythological elements is simply brilliant. I like the way he talked about the Angkor Wat, the largest temple structure in the world dedicated to Indian deities. The historical times of Chola kings made alive on those few pages. Through the fictional travelogue of the world famous Chinese traveler, the author has explored deep rooted links between Buddhism, Indo China relations, Silk Route, and a detailed account of the kingdoms of those times very effectively. You can explore not only political but also the cultural influences of those times in their travelogue. It also shows how ancient the Indian civilization and its Chinese counterparts are. Frankly speaking, this entire thread doesn't add much to the main story. Of course, it has an important link, but that could have been explored in a single chapter, in my opinion. This entire thread could have been edited out. However, if you are a history aficionado or want to know more about many aspects of Indian Chinese culture which are missing from the popular general narratives, you will love reading this thread. The footnotes exploring the details about the places and persons talked about shows the efforts put in by the author in his research work. He must be appreciated for that. I also like the way the author talked about the modern political scenario in China in this fictional tale. Rather than just showing them as an enemy, the author's balanced approach reveals some lesser known side of the situation. The way the Indian way of living, martial arts, yoga, and other practices are explored will make you proud of the nation and remind you of the roots of the Indian culture. The good thing about the characters of this book are, though they are imaginary and sharp, intelligent, and a little bit heroic, they are realistic. They make human errors. They got overpowered by emotions. They feel vulnerable, but they don't give up. They are fragile, yet strong, and that makes the readers connect with them quite effectively. There are many aspects of the story and its element worth quoting. However, it will lead to spoilers, and I want to avoid them as far as possible. Let me try to quote some elements. Though all the care is taken, please listen to the same with the consent that some spoilers may not be avoidable. We, at Thinkerviews, quote some segments of the work for various reasons. One, of course, is we like them, and other is they will show the glimpses of the actual work so you can judge the narration, its quality, linguistics, and other attributes by yourself. The way the author has explored emotions and thrills in the book is something you will love reading. For example, her clenched fists inside the coat pockets gave away her nervousness. The weather that day had been unforgiving. Icy winds howled in chorus with bursts of thunder and rain. The book has some interesting lines which are nothing less than quotes you want to remember. For example, a hero is no braver than an ordinary man, but he is brave 5 minutes longer. Use your ammunition wisely and keep your powder dry. The attitude and dedication required by the people associated with the agencies who are taking care of the national security from outside and inside threats is of the next level. They have to find their humor in sarcasm. And when you watch a thriller or spy fiction like James Bond movies or Schwarzenegger thrillers, for example, you love these elements, right? Well, in this book also you will find some such lines. Attendance is compulsory. No excuses for your absence unless you are dead. And even then, try to make it. The DRDO too was controlled by an army of civil servants. Palm often joked that DRDO bureaucrats were like defective guns. They never worked and could not be fired. It was easy to develop artificial intelligence, but much more difficult to counter natural human stupidity. As said earlier, the list is long, but I need to stop here. So, what is the conclusion? Well, I found it a nicely written, gripping thriller which views mythology, thriller, sci fi arenas in an interesting manner. Its contemporariness is its plus point. The Chinese traveler's fictional track is well researched and documented, but don't add too much value to the main story. So, what do you think about this book? Have you already read it? Are you planning to read it? Did you find this book review helpful to you in any way to decide whether to go for the book or not? Please share your genuine comments below. And yes, if you really like the review, give it a thumbs up and share it with friends and other readers whom you think such books interest more. And yes, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you get a notification whenever we publish our next podcast or next book review or maybe next author interview. Till then, take care of yourselves. Bye bye. Take care. Namaskar.